Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. It is time for Three Guys Before the Game. This is episode number 656. It is our post-game recap of West Virginia against the Bobcats of Ohio University. Not the result that anyone was looking for, at least anyone associated with West Virginia. We'll break it down. Spreads on Stats is here. Hoppy is here as well, so let's do this thing. Three Guys brought to us by GoMart. Get yourself a GoMart rewards card. Save on food and fuel. Visit the App Store or go to GoMart.com for details. By Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. By Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's Biscuit, just like we did today here in the studio. Three Guys brought to us by Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. And by Jan Dills, attorneys at law, they won't take no for an answer. Coming up, Spreads on Stats brought to us by Conley CPA Group. They provide value beyond numbers. All right, let's jump straight on in. West Virginia falls 17-10 to the Bobcats of Ohio University. A lot to talk about. It means a lot for a bunch of different reasons, obviously. So obviously, let's start this thing off with Hoppy's obvious observations.
Well, hold on.
What?
Can I go first today?
I think Hop.
Can I go first today?
Yes,
I need to go first today.
Yes, you may.
When we do Spreads on Stats, and we'll do this coming up, we normally go and take a look back at what we said in the preview episode and see what we got right and what we got wrong.
Right.
So I thought we should begin that show, or I should begin that show, with a look back to Thursday's episode. And I will first offer my sincere apologies to Mr. Kercheval to my right.
You went sincere.
We were on opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of how this game might play out. I felt really good about West Virginia's position. You were on the opposite side, and as it turns out, you were right to be worried. You were right to be worried about West Virginia's ability to go in and get a win. And I said on Thursday, if I was wrong, I would come in and apologize to you. So I apologize. Wow. You were right. I was wrong.
I tell you what. Come here, let's hug it out.
No, we're not going to hug it out. Sit down.
Make him uncomfortable. That's good. Well, hey, you know what? I'm really glad.
So anyway, thank you for allowing me to go first. Now you can do your obvious observations. But you were right on. You were right to be worried about a game, and it came to fruition.
When Bobby Bowden's Florida State beat West Virginia, this first comment was, "I'd take no joy." He said, "I wanted to win the game, but I take no joy in beating West Virginia. I take no joy, Brad, in being right." And by the way, the fact that I was not alone in that. If you were a neutral observer and you looked at this game, you saw it was 2.5, 3.5 points. So people who had no vested interest saw this as, hey, this is a chance for home dog to get a win against an untested team by a program. Granted, it's MAC, but a program has 31 wins over the last 3 years. So it was not that tough of a prediction if you're a neutral observer. Fair?
Yeah,
Fair?
that's fair.
Yeah, others shared that, but you called it. You took your shot and called it.
Okay.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Take no joy in that. But, guys, we're not neutral observers. Mountaineer Nation, not neutral observers, as I go into obvious observations. So you come away from this game, and we'll talk about this a lot, supremely disappointed in not only the loss, but how you played. And we'll get deeply into that, and Brad has spreads and stats on that. But if you were thinking, when you were thinking about, guys, number of wins for this team, whether it was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you had this as a win, correct?
Yes.
This was one you had as a win.
Yes.
No matter how many wins you thought they were going to have, this was one of them.
Yes.
So then you're thinking, if you don't win this, where are the wins? If you can't win this game, where do the wins come? So I think on Mountaineer Nation, there's a whole recalibration going on. Again, prisoner of the moment. You're allowed to get better, Brad, and we'll talk about that. But prisoner of the moment, you are recalibrating as to what kind of season you may have. Fair?
Yes.
Okay. Second point is that the defense played well enough to win.
Agree.
Defense played well enough to win. Gave up 17 points, created 3 turnovers.
None in the second half.
What's that?
Right? No points in the second half?
No points. No points in the second half. So the defense played well enough to win. If before the game you said defense is going to cause 3 turnovers and going to hold you to 17 points, you go, okay, that's fine and good. We're in good shape. So, and the defense was on the field, by the way, all day. Time of possession I haven't looked at, but the offense was terrible. You got that after the Jaheim White run, after the completion, long completion and a touchdown run by Jaheim, and Jaheim goes out with the injury. The offense was anemic, did nothing. 3 turnovers in the third quarter. You get no points. Tony, I'm not even sure if you got a first down.
No, you went 3 and out 3 times in a row.
3 and out 3 times in a row after 3 turnovers.
Unbelievable.
So the offense was just awful. Now, the blame typically falls to the quarterback, but in fairness, when you can't run, and after Jaheim went out, I think he had 30 yards rushing the rest of the game. If you can't run, that puts tremendous pressure on the quarterback. And they got to him. The offensive line did not do a very effective job, and I wanted to see Brad's grades, a very effective job run blocking or pass blocking. So that was a major factor. So I don't think I've seen 3 more disappointing offensive quarters in a long time. That was really, really bad. And even late in the game, I kept thinking, okay, wait a minute, you get so many chances. Okay, you'll get a touchdown here, maybe overtime, and it just never happened. Never even came really close to happening. So again, Brad will say, and it's accurate, you're allowed to get better, but you got a lot of getting better to do very quickly.
These are all fair observations on your part.
And obvious, too.
They're obvious, but they're also fair.
I'll begin with some cliches.
Hey, wait a minute. That's my territory.
Let's first put away now, probably forever, the cliche that you get better from week 1 to week 2. Probably done.
You want to you want to use the one called you get worse from week 1 to week 2?
No, I think that's probably,
yeah, we'll shelve that.
If we weren't already done with that, I think let's just go ahead and we don't use that one anymore. The second one is, and probably this is if you want to try and have a little positive cheer here on Sunday, the day after the game, which is hard to find after a loss like that, you say, it's never as good as it looks. It's never as bad as it looks.
I've had that come through my head.
You've said that a couple times,
yeah, I've
right?
had that run through my head today, as a matter of fact.
So that's probably where you have to land with this. It was not as good as it looked at Robert Morris. It's probably not as bad as it looked yesterday, although prisoner of the moment, that's hard to get past, with also the added question mark around Jaheim White's health.
Yeah.
That was another part of this game, guys, that certainly had changed the game. I know you weren't running up and down the field with Jaheim in there, but the fact that he goes out, and we have talked for months now about the lack of depth at running back and playmaking ability, and to lose him, who knows what's next, but if that's for an extended amount of time, that's really concerning moving forward on that part of it. So I've got a bunch of numbers that the analysis will go into, a bunch of the areas, Hoppy, you talked about, but just overall share everybody's sentiments. That was, and again, based on my angle of this game on Thursday, I really did think West Virginia would go in and find a way to win that game, even if it was ugly, Hop. As bad as you were playing, as much as you were struggling to move the ball offensively, I did think the defense, especially in the second half, gave you a chance to win.
Sure.
Got the ball back 3 times on the 3 picks, and you just said it. You go 9 plays minus 7 yards after getting the interceptions. That's the part where you're just scratching your head. After the first one, you went, okay, here you go. Then you got the second one. You're like, all right, you're going to score now. Here you. And you got the third. You're like, well, my God, you're going to certainly cash in on this one. And to not be able to do that, you got the interceptions you thought you'd get from Parker Navarro, and you just couldn't cash it in. That was particularly frustrating.
Yeah, it certainly was. So I think we all went into this thing in uncharted territory because it's unprecedented that West Virginia has as many new players as they do on the roster. 81 was the official number. And so the question was, how long would it take for them to gel? And we said, well, let's give it some time. It's great to get it open against Robert Morris. You get your feet wet, and then you're going to get a better challenge coming up here against Ohio University. But then, like, after watching it, you also have some questions like that also were in the back of my mind, this whole thing. Like, if it was just this easy to just go get a bunch of new players and put them all together and expect that you were going to look like really super sharp right off the bat, probably not realistic. I think West Virginia has the most new players of any program in the country. And so that was a step back. And now these coaches are really going to have to coach because there are some fundamental issues that they are going to have to mask going forward to have chances to win games. So now and going into the Pitt game and going forward, now they really have to look at it and go, okay, now we got to smoke and mirror some things here because obviously that offensive line is nowhere near where it needs to be, one. And two, as we all know, when we know Rich Rodriguez's system, Rich flourishes when he has quarterbacks that make big plays. Just like wherever he's been, he's got to have a guy that can make something out of nothing. And that certainly did not happen yesterday. And so now they've got to go back and go, okay, how are we going to do this thing? I think the defense over the long haul can be a solid unit, but offensively, there are a lot of things where they need to figure some stuff out.
Well, we talked a couple weeks ago about the inexperience of this offensive line. I went through the starts returning from last year. I mean, that again, talk about not plowing new ground. The obvious concern into this season was that offensive line and its lack of experience. Never mind its lack of playing together. That has shown up. Now the question marks around Jaheim and your backup running backs. Then your ability, if you're not going to be able to run it for a program that wants to run it, that's just a basic problem, right? But then you move to the second problem that if you're not going to be ultra accurate on your passing and get the ball to then what becomes your best playmakers in a Jaden Bray and Cam Vaughn, who I think are both really good, you better find a way to complete some passes. And yesterday, you didn't do that at a high clip, and you didn't do it throwing it down the field either. There was no ability to hit the ball deep, except that one at the end of the game, which I'm still not sure they got that right. I thought that might have been a catch by Cam Vaughn. But you've got to be able to get the ball in those guys' hands, and you just didn't do a good job of that yesterday either.
And injury-wise on the offensive side, quietly, everyone's talking about Jaheim White, and well, they should. I mean, Jaden Bray went out with an injury, and like his status is an unknown right now, and he's a guy that also could be very, very productive going forward.
What about Carrico?
He got knocked out there early and did not return. So yeah, there were several guys.
And Tony, we came away from that Robert Morris game, and we kept saying opponent adjusted. That's true. But West Virginia did look pretty good in the second half against Robert Morris. Robert Morris is not good. I mean,
Correct.
they got Youngstown State boat raced them. Youngstown State was up 56-3 late in that game before Robert Morris got a couple late touchdowns. So that kind of puts that in perspective as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Someone pointed out to me last week, they said, you guys were talking on the podcast that Jaheim White was running hard and was getting additional yards off of contact. He said, here's my concern.
You weren't downfield before you were getting hit. Yeah, no question. That's
Correct.
the flip side of that.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
That he was getting hit initially, and then he was surging through and going forward. So, obviously, a lot to work. So that becomes our obviously segment. Hoppy, you've started an obviously a whole thing. Obviously, yeah. We know a lot of that stuff. All right, Spreads on Stats is coming up. 3 Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Jan Dills, Attorneys at Law. They are a nationwide firm. Now, we weren't far from the home base yesterday. They're based in Parkersburg, but they have clients and have operations in all 50 of our United States, and they specialize in VA benefits, veterans benefits. So if you or someone that you know is in need of help when it comes to filing that type of claim for veterans benefits, contact the folks at Jan Dills Attorneys at Law. Do it right from the beginning. Don't try to do it yourself. They will be there to help you step by step and guide you through the process. Doesn't cost you a single penny unless they earn a settlement for you. So VA benefits, veterans benefits, Social Security, disability claims, they're there. That's what they do. Jan Dills, Attorneys at Law. Idyllic sight there yesterday, by the way, boys, at that stadium. It's gorgeous.
Is it?
The view from up top. Right off to the right-hand side, the Hocking River. And so I was distracted a couple of times, thought I'd see some Lou Wendell pontoons going through there. But Lou Wendell is one of our main sponsors, Lou Wendell Marine Sales, located in St. Albans. They've done it for 40 years. And, yes, they are award-winning, voted the best in the Valley on a regular basis. If you have any kind of a boating need, whether it be their Avalon pontoon boats or the G3 John Series boats, they've got them all. Anything you need in the boating world, visit LouWendellMarineSales.com.
How was the parking there?
Excuse me?
How was the parking at?
Fantastic.
Good.
I thought they did a really, really nice job.
Good.
I got there early.
As I'm sure you would.
Yeah, I got there early, so didn't have any problems at all. May have gotten there a little bit too early, but that's a whole nother thing.
We'll just go right to the numbers.
All right, let's do this thing. Spreads on stats.
Let's jump into the analytics portion of the show.
Ready?
It's got a nice beat to it. Spreads on Stats is brought to us by the fine folks at the Conley CPA Group. They do provide value beyond numbers, provide complete service, public accounting, and consulting. Clients throughout the state of West Virginia and surrounding states. They're in their 40th year of business operations as well. Local firm, experienced local professionals. They can outsource your accounting for you. Take that headache off your head. They can also outsource CFO services. Pretty nice. Visit Conley CPA Group if your business needs help. Conley CPA. All right. So again, the numbers that Brad uses oftentimes mature over time as more and more of the film gets graded. So we do this relatively early. On Sunday, jumping in at this point, did you have any aha moments when you dug in?
Well, let's just start in here. No rhyme or reason to where I'm going, but I'm gonna start with where the scouting report for this game started, and that's with Parker Navarro, OU's quarterback. Again, every person that talked about this game mentioned his ability to scramble, and that was going to be a concern for West Virginia. So you look at what Navarro did yesterday, guys. He had 78% of Ohio U's total yards.
Wow.
Excuse me?
78% of their total yards.
Playmaker, difference maker.
So that was the one guy on that team you couldn't let beat you and had to try and see if someone else could do it. They didn't need to because Navarro carried the day there, and here's what got you. 8 scrambles. He's credited with 8 quarterback scrambles for 83 yards.
Wow.
6 of those 8 resulted in first downs.
There you go.
He had 5 missed tackles that he forced on those, and they were in big moments. It seemed like every time he ran, it was in a big moment, and that's evidenced by those 6 of those 8 scrambles turned into first downs. So you could probably just stop right there. I mean, that was likely the difference in this game from an offensive standpoint, especially in the first half when they got that lead. It was almost their entire running game, his ability to scramble. How about these numbers? You take those scramble yards away, and they had 95 yards rushing on 40 carries, 2.4 yards per carry. So we said going in the scouting report, that was a rebuilt Ohio U offensive line, 4 or 5 new starters, thought it might be advantage for West Virginia's defense. It was. I mean, West Virginia's defense was there other than that one thing, and that was a big other because it cost you the game. One of the other things we mentioned that came to fruition on Thursday, I said there was going to be an interception. Went on record with my first official prediction from the stats.
Yeah, you hit that.
He said there was going to be an interception. He had shown that. His big-time throw numbers versus turnover-worthy plays that we recounted for you last Thursday's episode came to fruition. He gave you 3 of them. That's the part, guys. When you go back at this one, Ohio gets the win, full credit to them. Man, they tried to give you that game. They tried everything possible to hand you that game on a silver platter. I went back on WVUstats.com. West Virginia is 23-2 over its last 25 games when it has 3 picks in a game. 23-2. That dates all the way back to 2003.
Wow.
So you talk about just an absolute outlier. You not only win the turnover battle, but you get 3 interceptions from a guy you thought was susceptible to throw him, and he did, and you couldn't go. 9 plays, -7 yards after the INTs.
And Brad, I forget exactly where they were, but one of them was near midfield, right?
Well, one was inside territory there,
and
absolutely.
You got 0. I mean,
absolutely
handed it to you. It's not like you got it on the 4. And you couldn't move. Not only did you not score, you couldn't move and didn't move the ball at all.
Your best chance to score might have been the Ben Cutter interception.
Oh,
I thought he might have been able to get to the sideline and go all the way, had an offensive lineman trip him up. Like, that's where we're at, right? That's where you were at in that game. Like, Cutter's got to score. Got to make this thing tied up.
Best offensive weapon, Ben Cutter.
We also talked about pressure. Thought you could probably get some pressure on Parker Navarro. He handled it pretty well from a completion percentage, better than he's been in his whole career. 9 of 13 for 137 under pressure, but 2 of his picks came when you got pressure on him. So it's just, again, you did what you had to do from that perspective. You got pressure on him, forced him into scrambling, but you couldn't contain. It was pressure and contain, and you couldn't get the contain part of it. Maybe the biggest surprise of the day to me was how much OU's defense struggled versus Rutgers and then did not struggle against West Virginia. And I know a lot of that was a result of what West Virginia didn't do, but we talked about the Bobcats' coverage grade coming into this game after one game on the season. Again, small sample size, but it was the second worst in the entire country after game one. They had a 41 grade against Rutgers in coverage. Against West Virginia, that jumped all the way to a 68.5 grade. So a massive improvement there. Nico held to just 58% completion rate 1 week after a career high. And Hoppy, you're right. Robert Morris just isn't good. I get it. But just 58% completion when there were some windows to throw in that they just didn't hit, that certainly killed you. Without an ability to run it, you weren't throwing the ball effectively enough either, and you probably should have been able to against this OU defense. OU tackling grade, also one of the worst in the country after game one. It was a 54 grade against Rutgers, jumped all the way to a 71.7 against West Virginia. Instead, it was West Virginia's defense that had the tackling issue. Again, that didn't cost you the game, but if you get Parker Navarro down a couple times, that would have helped. 14 missed tackles forced by OU runners in that game, which will make Zach Alley crazy, I realize. Here's another telling stat, guys. Ohio U ran 49% of its plays in West Virginia territory.
Oh.
Half of its plays. West Virginia ran just 27% of its plays in OU territory. That was a bigger gap in the first half. It was like 43% to 5% in the first half when that game was ultimately decided. Both teams really struggled offensively. You look at offensive success rate, when you get 50% of your yards on first down, 70% by second down, and if you convert a first down on third or fourth, that contributes to your success rate. OU was just 33% success rate. So offensively, again, it shows by the 17 points. You hold teams to 17, you think you're going to win under Rich's program, right?
Mm-hmm.
That should be a win. You hold a team to 33% success rate, you probably win that game. They just, outside of Navarro's scrambling, that's really the only thing that hurts you. West Virginia was even worse, though, just 27% success rate. West Virginia's run blocking grade, because I figured you were going to ask me about this.
Here we go.
Its worst regular season grade since Pitt in the opening game of 2022, and the fourth lowest run blocking grade in the last 11 seasons.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Through 2 games, West Virginia's 15th out of 16 teams in the Big 12 in run blocking grade. So just really struggled. Couldn't get anything going left in particular. Just 9 carries for 13 yards when trying to run it left. What else you want to know? Those are the lowlights.
Third down. It seemed like that you were in third and long a ton, Tony. It felt like it. I don't know what the numbers were, but you were 2 of 13 for third down, but you were just always in a.
Well, you finished 2 out of 13. You finished 2 of 13 on third down.
Yeah.
And they went 5 of 14 on third, 1 of 3 on fourth, so they were 6 of 17 on conversion downs. West Virginia was 2 out of 14.
And here's more behind those numbers as to why the game ends 17-10. Not only are you 2 of 13, which is self-explanatory, you averaged 7.3 yards per third down. So again, this offense over time you're not built to be in 3rd and 7 when you want to do what Rich wants to do. But you only averaged 3.5 yards per play on third down. You were 1 of 6 throwing the ball on third down. That's just not even remotely good enough.
And it was an absolute masterclass on limiting the possessions. They had the ball. I mean, you saw. They got away probably with at least 2 delay of games that they didn't throw the flag on. But anyway, they had the ball for 40 minutes and 15 seconds to West Virginia's 19:45. They 2-for-1'd them in time of possession. I mean, how do you beat a team that wants to go fast? Don't give them the ball.
Right, and that was their plan, obviously. And that was part of their plan, and that worked. That worked because they had time of possession, and West Virginia had a 3 and out, and they would keep the ball for a while. But you did have opportunities. You had the ball a lot. You just didn't make the most of it when you had the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. I mean, again, all credit to Ohio U because they crafted the plan as they needed to, And yes, holding it and limiting it, especially in the first half. The time of possession's more stark in the first half. 21:55 for Ohio U, just 8 minutes, 5 seconds for West Virginia. And so, guys, we know this. The tempo offense is great when it's working and devastating when it's working. If it's not, and you're not having, if you're getting those success rate numbers on offense and you're going fast, that's a problem. It's going to lead to a 22-8 advantage in time of possession. But you're right, Hop, and I think that's ultimately what's the most frustrating about this game is, with all the credit to Ohio U, you still handled them, right? You still handled them for the most part, but just big plays by Navarro on the scrambles. You couldn't take advantage of those interceptions and punch it in, and you just didn't do enough offensively to get you one more score that may have changed that game.
Special teams, couple of penalties on some kick returns.
Yeah.
Don't help you at all.
Boy, just some untimely penalties overall too, wasn't there?
Yes.
Just in some massive moments.
And 8 penalties for 85 yards against an offense that couldn't move the ball. Now not all those were offensive penalties, I understand, but that's just.
I mean, you had a late hit on a quarterback, which cost you.
I didn't like that call.
I didn't like that call either. You had defensive holding on the third down, which ultimately turned into a touchdown drive for Ohio U. So penalties that you didn't need, but they were really costly in big moments where you got a lot of those.
So now, again, we like to talk about the officials, and the officials certainly didn't. Let me be clear. The officials did not cost you the game. You did it to yourself. Credit to Ohio University. But how do you call a roughing the passer when you push the quarterback and he doesn't fall down?
Yeah, it's the new emphasis. It's a new emphasis this year. It is.
So you think that's what it was?
Yes.
Okay.
I had an official at practice last week tell me, he goes, wait till you, that's exactly what he said to me.
Really?
He goes, wait till you see a roughing the passer called when the quarterback gets touched but doesn't get knocked down. Told me that last week.
There it is. Okay.
That was our boy, Tony.
That's tough, too, especially on a quarterback that's so slippery. What are you supposed to do there? You hold up and he takes off and slips outside on you. Guys, the offensive line concerns, as I said earlier, have been there. I'm not plowing new ground right there. But I think they really showed themselves. Before you got to the end of the game, you could see there were problems. There were 2 3rd down and 2s, Tony, early in that game, and WVU went with perimeter plays, right? The one pitch to Jaheim White, you tried to get around the outside, and the other you called a pass play and had Nico roll to his right and try and throw. And right there, if you needed another indication that West Virginia didn't trust where it was, 3rd and just 2 from a Rich Rodriguez offense, and you're not just lining up, smacking them right in the face, I think that probably jumped to you and said, okay, these guys aren't comfortable with what the offensive line's able to do up front. And again, it's doubly maddening in that that's an OU group that lost their entire front 7. So that's not just a West Virginia team that's rebuilt. That's an OU defense up front that's totally rebuilt. Correct. And West Virginia had to try and beat it on the perimeter rather than big boying it up front. So I would assume that's a real concern for this group moving forward.
Yeah, no question about it. And now you got to figure some things out. I just got, it's like anything else. You think there was concern before the season started. Rich has said on multiple occasions, I'm not sure if we're strong enough in the offensive line. The bad news is you can't get stronger when the season starts, right? That's not for now. That's for January to August. And that's a concern. So you've got to go, okay, what are our chances? Is that more tight ends into the formations to give yourself an extra blocker? Now anything and everything is open for grabs. And they've been here before. They've done it before. I talked to Rich the other day, and he had a situation when he was at Ole Miss with an offensive line that just wasn't going to be good enough. And here he is in the SEC. At Ole Miss, he had starting 3 true freshmen, a redshirt freshman, and a junior. Not real good in that league, right? So you just got to be creative.
That's a challenge because if defenses can stop the West Virginia run without doing anything special, just using the guys up front, what's that mean? There's more guys back, makes it even harder to pass, right? I mean, one thing leads to another, and you got serious problems.
Yeah, so this is one of those, again, as I always say, you're allowed to get better, and Rich's teams get better. So this is an all-time example of how much better can you get, while at the same time the competition is getting a lot better, starting with Pitt.
There it goes.
That's the challenge. Now you're into big boy football here, and that gets really hard. And the offensive line challenges are, Rich didn't play anybody, no backups on the offensive line played yesterday. That starting 5 went the whole game. So that also tells you if you have guys up front that are struggling a little bit and you're not bringing people in behind them, there's not a lot of confidence apparently in that second group yet either. So it's just, that's a real question, is how quickly can that group get better? Can it get better? How much better? While also facing much better competition coming in the rest of the season.
And do you have Jaheim White?
That was a horrible
Massive
situation
question.
there.
That was bad.
I mean, it's a lower body, and you worry about that. He had to be helped off the field, and you don't want to speculate, but whew.
Well, we'll get into that.
You got some info?
Well, yeah, I got the
It's a
info.
double penalty
He got
foul.
He got horse collared, face masked, and roll tackled.
Yeah.
All on the same play.
Yes.
Say it again. He got horse collared, face masked, and roll tackled on the same play. Well, that's a bad situation right there, man. I have no idea what it's going to turn out to be, but that's a wow.
That is a wow.
That's an absolute wow.
One tackler on one play inflicted that damage. You want to see why the horse collar is illegal?
Yeah.
Right there.
And the roll tackle.
Yeah.
3 Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Tudor's Biscuit World. We not only tell you to eat them, we actually do eat them. And the dean, Hoppy, brought each of us a Tudor's biscuit today. I'm going to use mine up after the show is over, but that's how we started our day.
I'd show you mine, but it's
gone. Yeah. When you do visit a Tudor's, they've got those 3 brand new sauces that they'd love for you to try: the honey sriracha, Carolina Gold, and the sweet teriyaki. Makes you just go, wow. Also, the classic Sweet Baby Ray's is still there. So stop by a Tudor's Biscuit World today. Treat yourself to some cozy comfort food.
Can I find one little nugget of bright spot in the offense?
Sure.
Just one little, as you look at the sky and you see maybe just a little bright light in the distance. I know he only had 2 catches and one was ruled not a catch. Cam Vaughn's a player.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy. I mean,
Cam Vaughn was open a lot in the game.
Yeah.
Was he?
He was open a lot in the game.
Get him the ball.
Get him the ball.
And he's to me, early analysis, he's something West Virginia hasn't had for several years now, Brad. That is a guy that can go get the ball.
That first catch he made, and contested because the defender was there, but he went up and, again, this should be a basic thing, but it's not. He just went up and didn't wait for the ball to get to his hands. He just went and picked that thing out of the air. Yeah, you're going to have to get in the ball. You have got to be more accurate and get him the football and let him make plays.
I mean, the pass that he caught that was ruled out of bounds, that was a 50-50. He had to turn, twist his body around, catch it low to the ground, which is hard, while falling down, while trying to keep his feet in bounds. That was a tremendous catch.
Yep.
That was ruled incomplete, but a great catch.
Yeah. No question about that. So, again, that's something else that they've got to look at now and say, okay.
Get him the ball.
Get him the ball. He's ID'd. Go get him the ball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully Jaden Bray's not too badly hurt.
No idea. The loss means that game day will not be coming here. ESPN had given West Virginia the wink, wink, we're coming, just win.
Missed opportunity.
So you can't make that one, publicity-wise, you can't make that one up.
No.
So now you just got to go ahead and say, okay, fine. Let's just get better. Let's take care of business. And as they say, when 2 old rivals get together, you can throw the record books out the window. Have you ever heard that, Hoppy?
You can, but you have to improve a lot for this game. I mean, we'll talk more about that later this week. But you got a lot of ground to make up here, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of work to do. You got to figure some things out.
Well, the crowd will do its part. We know that. They will be ready to go, and people will be enthused regardless of what happened. It is still the Pitt-West Virginia rivalry. It's the backyard brawl, so I know that the fans will do their part. Coming up in just a second, we are going to do textual healing, and we'll get into a bunch of different topics with that. 3 Guys brought to us by Comax Business Systems. Introducing the I-12 water cooler. Sleek design meets cutting-edge technology. Separate water delivery, perfect for your business workplace. You can keep your team hydrated all day long and energized. Visit ComaxWV.com or give them a call. ComaxWV.com. That's Comax, by the way, spelled with a K. K-O-M-A-X, not a C. K-O-M-A-X. Comax.
How do you spell that again?
K-O-M-A-X. WV.com. Plus, besides the whole water deal, they've got like every piece of business machinery and office equipment you could ever think of. Good locally owned company. Check them out. ComaxWV.com.
Nice win by Baylor yesterday.
Needed that for the league. How about the Arizona State? Did you see how that ended?
Yeah.
I did.
Ooh,
I did.
dog.
Did you see how the Oklahoma State game ended?
Yeah, before it started.
Yeah.
Got a situation there, huh?
Yeah, a situation.
Iowa State with a good non-league win.
That was a nice win. Got a late field. The field goal kicker, as you know, Brad, same guy kicked the same distance field goal last year to win the game.
Yes.
2 years in a row hit the same distance?
Yeah, 50,
Same distance.
50 plus.
54.
54.
54.
Awesome.
Meanwhile,
You think they might do a little statue of him around
they should.
Getting
Jack
there.
Trice Stadium?
Getting there.
Get the kids a little something. A bust.
Meanwhile, Kansas State in an
Ooh.
absolute free fall.
They had Army was very Army-like. In the second half, I was watching that game. In the second half, what was it, Brad, with 4 minutes to go?
Well, K-State only had like 2 possessions in the second half.
Yeah.
Touched it twice. In the
Twice.
second half.
Mm.
Yeah, that is absolute water torture.
And Army won the game even though they got a bad call late in the game. K-State receiver, Army was up. K-State receiver caught the ball in Army territory, caught it, took 2 steps. Safety came up, dislodged the ball. Army recovered.
Incomplete.
And during the review, they had an official on mic. I mean, the official that part of the broadcast said, "That's clear. He caught the ball. This is Army ball." And the official go back and play stands, incomplete pass.
Yeah. Had a microphone situation in that Oklahoma State game.
What happened there?
Did you see that young fella from Oklahoma State?
No.
Got caught on a holding penalty. Happened to be walking behind the referee when the referee was publicly announcing the call.
What happened?
Yeah, bombing.
He did.
Oh,
he
did
didn't. He didn't f-bomb the official. He basically was f-bombing himself that he got the call, and he just gave it a big f-bomb while the guy was like, holding number 64 on the offense, and the kid just went right on cue. Bam! And this kept right through the whole system.
There was another Spitgate too yesterday.
Oh, what's up with spitting, man? Who does that?
Well, you're not supposed to do it. If you're going to do that, you do it in the scrum when everybody's on the. You don't do it when you're standing looking at the guy.
Yeah, back in those days, that's what you did. You spit in the pile. You don't just spit in the cameras everywhere nowadays too.
Oh yeah.
Plus 4K. I mean, you're not going to get much out there anymore now.
Actually, see the spittle.
Yeah, absolutely. Time for Textual Healing. It's brought to us by episode800.com. Visit and text us. 304-404-4083, 304-404-4083. We've got all of our stuff there. And we do have a big weekend. Obviously, there would have been a lot of things bubbling, and I do think that after a couple days here, people will kind of refocus on the subject at hand, and that'll be Pitt. But let me just can I give you a rundown?
Please.
If you don't,
A lot going
if you
on.
don't mind. We've got 3 events in public this week. 3. So first off, we've got the food court, and the great folks at Clear Mountain Bank present that to us. By the way, ran into the president down there.
Did you?
Dave Thomas.
At the OU game?
And the wife, Stacy, the kids, the family, the whole deal there. Met them. They were at the OU game.
Yeah,
They
sure.
came down. They came down for the game. So Dave's the president of Clear Mountain Bank, and our food court's presented by Clear Mountain Bank. So the first thing we're going to do is this Thursday, we are going back. They're letting us back in to Buffalo Wild Wings, and we are going to do a 2-hour live show that is not recorded, 2-hour live show, and it will have banter, games, music, surprises, maybe trivia,
Maybe.
maybe not.
I'm going to come
Might be
prepared.
there may be new leadership for trivia. That's all I'm going to say. And we're going to do the Blazing Wing Challenge again. Last time we had 4 people enter, and 3 of them ate
awesome.
the 10 wings within 5 minutes. You know Alex, the director of operations over there, Mountaineer Basketball?
I do.
Rearranged his schedule so he's going to be in. He's in? He's in.
He's a hard in.
Hard in.
We might
Okay.
have to have a bigger table.
That's what I think.
And
Hop.
there
This-
may be
This
there-
might be a
we
big
have
table.
we have another person.
Might have 2 rounds.
There's a person that might do it that will blow everyone's mind, no pun intended. Okay. So we're there. We invite you to join us. Buffalo Wild Wings, Suncrest Town Center from 6 until 8.
Free.
Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything. Just show up. Also,
Well, you might want to eat there or have a beverage.
Free
Doesn't cost to come in.
Free to get in.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Hop.
no,
Thank you.
no
Free to
cover
get- free to
charge,
get
Hop.
in.
No cover. And then we're really blowing out the food court on Friday and Saturday. The food court's located next to Daniel's men's store on University Avenue, right to the left-hand side. And we're going to blow that out. Hey, by the way, Braden, let's go back. Let's show some of those pictures from our last visit. Check that. Now, we had a crowd
This
there
is
at Buffalo
this is at
Wild Wings.
B-Dubs.
That's at Buffalo Wild Wings. And so, and that there is 2 sides. I think 2 sides are going to come back and play music.
They were tremendous.
Yeah, they may be the house band. So 2 sides.
And they're still together.
Yeah. And there's moments after, or this might be leading
I think
into,
that's
Leading
leading
in.
the wing challenge. That guy on
Concerned
the,
faces.
the guy on the far right, the right of me, that's the guy that said he goes in Indian restaurants and says, "Ruin my life," when they ask him how hot he wants
So
it.
that's to your left.
To my left, the viewer's right.
Yes.
And so that's that. And then give me another one here. What else do we have, Braden? Oh, there's McKenna. That's McKenna Hope. She is going to be our special musical performer this weekend at the food court.
All right.
And she'll be joined by Keegan McLean. There's Keegan McLean. So this is the young lady whose dad texted us. He's a Three Guys listener and said, "Hey, my daughter wants to do it." Remember when I kind of was going to give him the old, like, "Yeah, your daughter wants to sing."
Yeah,
Okay,
you,
fine.
Yeah, you kind of shook that off.
Then they sent us one of the music videos of her singing.
She's really good.
Yeah, like a wowzo. So here's the deal. Food court goes on Friday from 3 until 10. McKenna Hope and Keegan McLean, and then various musicians from Mon Hills Records. That's the record label of WVU and the School of Creative Arts. We would also like to thank our music sponsor, Rocky Simmons over there, Vision Homes.
Love Rocket. Big fan.
Yeah. So Rocky, he's in. He said, "I want to take care of your guys' music for you, so those folks can get a little bit of compensation for performing."
Thank you, Rocky.
Rev Cav and Connection 304 will be there. And by the way, you can buy 6-packs to go of the Connection 304. I don't know if you knew that or not.
It's on draft.
And you can buy
And you
6-packs to carry with you.
Yes. For your back to your tailgate.
Now, here's a couple of other things we're adding to the food arsenal. Wait till you see this thing. Got a big lemon.
Excuse me?
This I have seen this. This is excellent.
There's a massive lemon. It's just a huge lemon, and they're going to sell lemonade inside the big lemon. It's hilarious.
Hey,
And
you know who was there scoping it all out this morning when I drove by?
who?
Homeless.
Well, sure he was. He doesn't miss a beat. Plus, he got nowhere else to go.
I think he slept there.
Finally, you've been obsessed with trying to meet the Grateful Bread lady.
Yes.
She's going to be there. She will be selling her stuff, sourdough bread, cookies, and a limited number of warm homemade pepperoni rolls.
Oh, I bet those are good.
And our boy, Rusty, from Mountaineer Roasting, samples of our coffee, free samples of our coffee.
Do we have room for all this?
I don't know. That's why Dave was over there today. He's very
Coffee,
concerned.
lemonade, bread, pepperoni rolls, Connection 304
All-
on draft or can.
All West Virginia made.
Mm-hmm.
And
All
is
West
what about
Virginia.
Duca? Is Duca going to be there?
Maybe. Who knows? Duca's always invited. Coffee, popcorn, apparel. Our episode 800 merchandise will be there. Plus Charles Wesley Godwin's favorite shirt, the one that he wears during concerts sometimes. Nobody cares. Work harder. I think he got that line from you. So 3 until 10 Friday, 9:30 till 2 o'clock on Saturday. Free game day grind samples on Saturday to go along with Rev Kev's breakfast sandwiches.
What time's the game?
3:30.
All right, so that's a lot. So Buffalo Wild Wings Thursday 6 to 8. Food court opens Friday 3 p.m. and then open again Saturday at what time?
9.
9-ish? Just make that up.
I have a conflict on Friday.
9:30.
9:30. Buffalo Wild Wings 6 to 8. Food court 3 p.m. Friday. Food court 9:30 Saturday morning. We'll see you there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I think my grandson, LC, is going to become big.
Really?
Luca's going to be probably going to try. I think that lemon's going to get him. I think he'll be kind of obsessed with the lemon. He'll like that a lot. By the way, let's jump into these things now. We had 522 corrections. I quickly read a text last show that said Rich got beat by Appalachian State. That Rich never got beat by Appalachian State. Some guy said I was celebrating when Rich got beat by Appalachian State. Now I'm cheering for him. Rich never lost to Appalachian State.
Carded.
Yeah, 521 people corrected us.
Who said that on the last show?
I read a text.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, you said okay.
We
It wasn't
didn't
your
catch it.
fault.
Yeah, we
should have caught it, but I mean, we don't know every game he's played. So
Jason, who signs bewildered and bummed in Iowa. I'm sitting here feeling stumped. As you all said, last week was a kind of get-to-know-you game. Not much I can say about this week's offense. Underwhelming. Defense got it going in the second half, gave us a chance. No one looked like they could out-athlete the Bobcats. They handled us plain and simple. Every year I start a season believing. Maybe it's too much to ask with 81 new players. Take me off the ledge. As a Morgantown native, aged now 53 years, I feel like I've seen this film before. Well, a lot of what we just said. You can get better. They will get better. Exactly what their max is on better. I'm not going to, who knows what it's going to be. But hang in there. Texter, why is the play on Jaheim not an ejection? Face mask, horse collar, same tackle. Should be automatic if you ask me. That's why those two ways of tackling have big penalties, because they cause injuries. Look what happened. Texter, yikes. Seems like the old West Virginia. Penalties galore, poor tackling. Offensive line, huge weakness. We knew Navarro was elusive, but poor tackling and Navarro's athleticism was evident. Really disappointing. You guys keep up your good cheer. Signed by Rich, Satellite Beach, Florida. Brad, please apologize to Hoppy for dismissing his obvious observations. Well, you started the thing with that.
done. Right at the top of the show. Well done.
Hey, guys, Pop from St. Mary's. If this was a lack of talent, I could understand, but these guys are not tough. Ohio pushed them all over the field. No hard edge. Signed, next texter signs, well-adjusted in West Milford. I miss the days where losing felt like an insult. It's become so frequent, I've got no choice to become self-actualized. I believe they will improve as the year goes on. Rich will pull us out of this skid toward irrelevance, but we obviously have a few more lumps coming this season. Please, Lord, beat Pitt. Texter, you don't have to read this, but is there an actual chance we can turn this around in a couple of years? Who can we go get to make it better? Just looking for some hope for the future.
You know, Tony, and we have explained ad nauseum or talked ad nauseum how bad it was against OU. But you are allowed to get better. I'm not talking about week 3 or Brad or even week 6, but you don't hire a coach. You don't fire a coach after two games. Okay, so he needs time. He needs time, and I know that timeline's gotten shorter. But is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? Is it 1 year? But you do have to have some patience. You can be disappointed and should be with what happened against OU, but still have some patience about what's going to happen in the future.
Well, yeah, and remember, just go back to the first go-around with Rich. That first year was rough, guys. 3-8, and it looked bad at times. I think we forget the loss to Temple.
Yeah.
Remember how bad Temple was as a program at that point?
Mm-hmm.
And you lost, if I'm not mistaken, that was a home game for West Virginia. You lost to Temple, and then what was it, 5 seasons later, you're on the brink of a national championship. So if you want the positive spin, Hop, I agree with you. It was bad yesterday. It's a bad loss. Rich would stand up here and tell you it's a terrible loss. You have to just keep plowing ahead.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, just have to keep moving ahead.
Periopolis Phil shares a lot of comments with everyone, but he also says in the future, can non-Big 12 referees for road games work for us? Some questionable pass interference calls. We are allowed to get better, and I'm hopeful that we will. That was bad.
I thought there was an interference on Gallagher.
They did call it late on a Gallagher play over the middle. I don't know. Were you referring to another one?
It was another one, I thought.
Okay.
Maybe. Was it Gallagher? Brad?
There's somebody late.
It was late in the game.
Somebody late where they did not call it.
Again, I'm
Came
not complaining about the officials. I'm citing some examples where I thought that there were questionable calls, but just that, because we also grade the officials.
Tony Brad Hoppy, huge fan, first-time writer. I wanted to make sure until I waited until it was over, but my thoughts were written and captured throughout the game. I understand Ohio's a phenomenal MAC team. I understand it wasn't a gimme. Shocked and appalled and disappointed at how we lost the game. Everything that Coach Rod preached over the entire offseason of hard work and being mandatory on every play by all players must have been abandoned. Minus a few plays here and there, the team played uninspired, unenthusiastic, sloppy, slow, and overall undisciplined. We all knew this was going to be a tough season with 81 new guys and coaching staff, but I don't think anyone envisioned this team playing this poorly and being this fatigued in just its second game. I want to avoid being dramatic, but I think this was the absolute worst-case scenario for Rich's second tenure here. It's going to be extremely difficult to pick up any remaining wins at this point with 10 straight P4 opponents. Desperately looking for a light at the end of the tunnel. It's left me depressed, heartbroken, and overall feeling foolish for believing things could go back to the way they were pre-2019. Please share your thoughts on this.
By the way, Rich did take complete responsibility for the massive fail. As he should, but that's what I think a coach does, and doesn't come out and say, well, this guy didn't make a play, that guy didn't make a play. I mean, he said poor performance, poor coaching. I mean, he said that to Jed in the quick post-game interview.
Texter, why do I care? Why do I care so much that this freaking game seems to have ruined my weekend?
Oh, I don't want to do that.
It's a game. It's a game. Just go beat Pitt. AJ, South Park, 3 guys, disaster has struck. It's time to call the restoration company. Rich Rod calls. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. He wants us to put a call into the Contra Grillos over there at Panhandle, see if they can clean this thing up. Texter, I try not to be vocal about officiating because I know it's a hard job that I wouldn't want, but that call and non-reversal on replay of the reception on Vaughn was brutal. The game may have been a different outcome had they got it correct.
Still have to make plays, though. You didn't make enough plays, even if you made that.
If you
play.
get that reception, and you punch it in and score, and then let's just say you hold them and you get a field goal and you win the thing 20-17, you know what you would have done?
What?
You would have stole the game. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, you can certainly make the case, and I thought that was a catch.
Did you?
I did. I'll be quite honest with you, and these officials do the absolute best job that they possibly can. They truly do. But the only thing I think of is, like, when you got a Big 12 crew and you're on the road and it's like 50-50, like, take care of your freaking team. Take care of your
Really?
Yeah, I mean, on a 50-50, like the Vaughn thing, like, if they would have come back and said the kid made the catch, like, no one would be losing their mind and say, tell me how he didn't make the catch. If the ball never touched the turf,
right,
then that to me is a catch. His foot was down, his knee was down, inbounds. Like, if it's that close, then, and you're the frickin' league, it's your frickin' guys, like, yeah.
Brad, what did you think?
Well, I thought it was a catch. I realize my view is going to be biased there a little bit, but I thought it was a catch. I wonder in those, you'll never get an answer to this. I just wonder if that's in the first quarter. Do they change that? Do they look at that and think that's going to change the game?
Probably right.
That's going to change the game, and it was close. I'm not going to change the game with a call that was close.
Yeah,
never get an answer on that. And
those are your boys, though.
If it's a catch, it's a catch.
I thought
I thought he had it.
I thought it was a catch. I thought it was a catch. However, it was close. It was close. And since the call was incomplete, was there enough evidence to overturn? I thought he caught the ball didn't touch the ground, and his feet were in bounds. I thought his knees. I thought it was close. I thought you could make the argument.
You only
that
need
it was
one
a catch.
foot in. His side of his foot was down.
The toes were in before the knee came down, and it looked like he had it. But that's what I'm saying, because they ruled it incomplete, and it was such a big play in that moment, because you're going to tie the game likely.
Yeah.
Right. If you give West Virginia that catch, I just wonder if that plays into it. They said, well, that's close. We already called it incomplete. We're just staying with incomplete. Not enough to overturn.
So I go against that logic. My logic is, yeah, go ahead and give it to them. Now it's tie. Okay, boys, play it out. It's even. Start. Whoever scores wins.
Brad, do you agree with Tony?
Well,
there should be a Big 12 bias?
To
No,
counter
I'm not
that,
saying a bias. I'm saying, no, I'm not saying do something wrong. I'm saying if it's 50-50, well, give it to your team.
well, no, they're not supposed to know. They're not supposed to do that. To counter your point there, I would say this. How many times in basketball do you see officials swallow the whistle when there's contact at the rim because they claim they're not going to decide in the game? So to me, there was contact at the rim on that last play, and they swallowed the whistle. Yeah. They played on.
Maybe someone in the main offices there at the Big 12 probably would like to see that call reversed. Get game day in here for your league. Probably wouldn't help the conference a little bit. I don't know. Just saying, it's a business. Gentlemen,
I'm not sure you could have punched it in.
Who knows?
You're offensively so ineffective.
I'd like to try. Gentlemen, I have a question. I keep hearing all from the Rich Rod apologist. It's going to take 3 to 4 years to fix things. My question, why it's not 2005. He's not going to stack recruiting classes on top of each other and have 4 years to develop people like White, Slate, and Schmidt. Every year is a new team. This is his team. What happened on the field in Ohio was his. College football full of programs that have turned it around in a year with new coaches, TCU, Indiana, Arizona State. What am I missing?
No, just I understand. Just
no one's saying. I mean,
give
whoever's
it a little
saying
time.
This is not a 3 to 4 year problem.
No,
not in today's world. So
no.
That's not the case.
2 is the new 4.
I think that's fair.
2 is the new 5.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, so just the TCU, Indiana, Arizona State thing. I mean, my point to that would be this: if it were that easy to do, then every program that changes its coach should win double figures in their first season. It just doesn't happen. And I saw it. That was my concern going into the year. If it was this easy, like this can't be instant tea, where you just make the hot water and you put the tea bag in there and you have tea. Like I don't think you can just go get 81 new guys and like put the mixture in there and go, okay, that's a team.
Yeah,
it's going to take time. Hey guys, Joe Max, South Parkersburg. I'm surprised Hoppy or Brad didn't hit this on the start of the preview show last week. Ohio, 5 times have had crowds 25,000 or more since 2012. They're 5-0 in those games. Numbers, Brad. They had the numbers.
How was the crowd?
Filled.
Was it noisy?
I couldn't. I don't know because I was in a booth.
You also didn't
booth.
do a lot to give them a lot of chance to make noise either.
That's true,
right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
part of it. That was probably severely hampered by the lack of production.
A lot of gold and blue in the crowd.
Oh goodness, overwhelming, tremendous.
You had the window shut?
No, the windows didn't open.
What?
The windows didn't open.
The windows did not open?
No,
That had to bum you out.
it did. Had a little transom window where you were able to slide a microphone through.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so the only crowd I heard was in my headsets from the mic, but yeah, it's a little bit different. I couldn't get a true feel, but no, it was great. I mean, great environment.
Yeah.
Beautiful area.
Yeah.
Folks there were extremely nice. It was a great job.
They have, I know we're going to not make them out, as Brad would say, the 84, 85 Bears, whatever, but they do have it going there.
Yeah, doing really well.
31 wins in 3 years,
Mhm.
won bunch of bowl games, beat Jacksonville State last year in the bowl game, 1-1 against Power 4 teams to start the season.
Well, here's what they have. They got a quarterback.
Yeah.
They got a quarterback. If they had Bobby Jones back there yesterday and Bobby Jones was a stiff and couldn't run, West Virginia, they win the game and that's it. Kid won the game.
It was the difference.
He made the plays. He won the game. They got a quarterback. Mark in San Diego.
Even though we had 3 picks.
Yeah, exactly. Despite the fact that he had 3 picks. Mark in San Diego, can you explain from a financial perspective how much a 2-for-1 with Ohio was better for the bottom line as opposed to buying 3 different home games with 3 group of 5 opponents? Just trying to understand the risk versus the reward. You want to do this? You want me to do this?
Go ahead.
Okay. So the average price to bring in a group of 5 team to Morgantown's probably $1.5 million. In fact, Ohio's going to make $2 million for going to Ohio State this coming weekend. So you do these 2-for-1s for this reason. It's cheaper for you to do it, obviously. So that's how it works. Let's just say 2-for-1 Ohio. West Virginia gets $300,000 for going over there yesterday. When Ohio comes back over here, West Virginia gives them $300,000. So we're even.
Covers travel, basically.
Covers travel and all the other stuff. So the next time that Ohio University comes, you're going to pay them the friends and family rate of about $750,000.
Okay.
So instead of paying them 1.5, you're basically saving $750,000 by doing it that way.
Okay.
So if you go there yesterday and you win, and then you beat them twice here, you go, hey, it's a freaking great deal. You save $750,000. You lose, and you go, what the hell did you do that for? Plain and simple. Kevin from
those are the ones that are just the nightmare scenario when you lose them.
Yeah.
Because that's when you went in and bought off the sale rack, but it's no returns because it's on clearance sale, and you didn't check it, and you got home and it had one sleeve. Right? Sometimes you get home, it was a pair of Air Jordan 1s that are there that somebody didn't wear, and they didn't know they were there. They were marked for $5. You got them, you walked out giggling.
And then the next time you took them home, they didn't have a tongue in the shoe.
Yeah, this one just didn't have a sleeve.
Or you think they're Air Jordans and it's spelled Jerdon. Oh, okay. Guess not.
I mean, Ohio, it happened to Iowa State, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they got the same deal. They got caught there too. We didn't have the flu though yesterday. Texter, many reasons combined to lead to today's loss, but I'm sick to death of these situations where an official review takes place in West Virginia's games and they have an opportunity to overturn the incorrect call, but they don't do it. What is the point in wasting our time with a review if you can't get it right? Many reasons why we lost, but this blunder combined with the blatant hold by Ohio's O-line on their second TD could have changed the game in a major way. I'm not giving up on Rich. I'll be there next week. Let's beat the hell out of Pitt. Kevin Kaiser.
If you watch a lot of college football, there are a lot of lengthy reviews where the outcomes you go, what? That happens all the time.
Texter, a lot of people got on me about telling them to get there early. Jason from Somersville got there too early. Even went to Birch River Go-Mart. I was in my seat at 2:15. I met some fantastic people in the parking lot when I was walking into the
there was
stadium.
parking?
Plenty of parking. Bob, I want to show you a picture here of Bob and Ashton. They are missionaries in Guatemala.
Oh.
And Braden, if you could get that picture up of our Guatemalan coffee. So that's Ashton, the son. Bob's the dad. West Virginians, and they are missionaries in Guatemala. And Bob and his wife have been there for years. And he's been some big games. He's just over here now, going to be going back. But he told me a lot about the Guatemalan coffee world. Stunningly, and they're really nice people. Stunningly, big Three Guys listener, huge. Says about 4 families run all the Guatemala coffee cartel.
Coffee cartel?
Coffee cartel.
Coffee cartel. And he says that's just the way it is. Like if you wanted to get coffee out, you got to go through one of those 4 families. So you know some of our coffees from Guatemala.
I thought that was the case.
Rusty uses.
Yeah.
I don't know if Rusty's now involved in some kind of a cartel, legal, not legal, or anything. But you know what he told me? He's gonna send us some coffee from Guatemala.
Awesome.
Not let the families know. So great mountaineers and doing great work there.
Now wait a minute. You said you saw them. You got with them. I'm looking at the picture in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything there. There's nothing there except you 3 guys, some pavement and trees. I don't see any other vehicles there.
Just a composition of the shot. Might have got there a little early. Also, I ran into these guys.
Which one's the dad?
The guy on the right.
Well, he's young.
Well, he got his hat on
Guatemalan
backwards.
coffee's good for
you. You know what his
you.
hat was, Hoppy? 83 Hall of Fame bowl.
Is that what he has?
Yeah, it was an old trucker 83
well
Hall
done.
of Fame bowl.
Well done.
Yeah, very good. Okay, next one. So there's a lot of people, a lot of cars in that lot there
No,
too.
there's no cars in that lot.
So those guys.
Well, they got there early. That's why.
Hey, Brad, you see who's in that picture next to me? So these are the guys from Encova Insurance partying up there. But you see, it's Ferris.
Oh, there's Ferris.
Yeah,
I see him,
Ferris.
yeah.
Ferris is to
Your
my right.
Your right, our left.
Our left. And that's Ferris's dad on the right.
Yeah.
And I keep trying to tell
know Ferris's dad.
to tell Ferris, get out of the sports communication business and get over there with your dad, very successful financial planner.
Sure.
And Ferris isn't buying. He's going to stay in that sports communications world.
I see 2 other cars in that lot.
There's a lot of cars there, a lot of people.
No, there's not. There's open spaces.
Well, it's good to see those guys. Texter, why is the play on Jaheim not an injection? That's a decent, solid question. Texter, tough game, but hey, you're allowed to get better. For the record, I put my vacation request in on Thursday after listening to your episode so I could leave Parkersburg for Athens. It was denied, so I was forced to leave 1:30 Saturday afternoon. I arrived in Athens at 2, was parked by 2:13. I was in the stadium at 2:30.
Well, he got there early.
Texter.
Didn't have any problems.
Texter, post-game text. Traffic was acceptable. 2:30 arrival. Hey, guys, thinking we might need some levity here. It's about 10 o'clock Saturday night after the game. I'm just now pulling into my parking spot at Ohio University. As the last parking attendant is leaving, he says, hey, buddy, you're late. The game's over. And I said, nope, I'm just getting prepared for next week. Tough week, but let's keep pushing. I think we can keep building week by week. Tough day for the people who, like me, chattered all week like hyenas to my Ohio family. Also, Brad, love my ears, Dylan Doddridge. Texter, hello, my son and I had ourselves a solid 3 guys day yesterday until, well, you know, we live in Morgantown, decided to get a hotel in Clarksburg Friday night so we could hit Route 50 at 4 a.m. to beat the traffic. First stop, Go-Mart, where I snagged a hub-size cap Reese's that probably took a year off of my life. I rolled into Parkersburg Brewing for lunch, Connection 304, straight from the faucet, and like true philanthropist, picked up a case of coasters from Jim and Michelle to use at this week's food court. Topped off by passing a billboard after billboard of Jan Dill smiling at us like she knew something we didn't. We all know what happened after that, but hey, Ohio University, high atmosphere, electric, bathroom lines were abysmal. Hopefully the last time my son ever has to see West Virginia played in that stadium.
You know what they say about the bathroom? Get there early.
Yeah, they do. Unbelievable response at Go-Mart. I fueled up at Go-Mart Salem on the way out there on 50 yesterday.
How was the experience at the Salem one? That's a new one on our list. That was
smooth,
good.
as usual, as most Go-Marts, smooth as glass.
Yeah.
Smooth as glass. Make sure you get your Go-Mart rewards card and immediately begin saving on food and fuel. When I pumped up yesterday, I put my rewards card in there. And
did you get triple points?
This is offering, Saturdays you get triple points all season long. So absolutely do check that out.
I didn't check this. I was in Friday. Jeremy, my guy at Postal Plaza there, got a couple lottery tickets there. You know, that Powerball's up, so I didn't check. I should have checked to see if I won. I might not have showed up today to give you your apology.
There was a winning ticket in Texas.
Really?
And one in California or
So it's
Florida.
over.
Oh, there wasn't one here in Morgantown, so it's good that I came to work today.
They didn't say Postal
probably.
Plaza.
They didn't say Postal Plaza in Morgantown?
Did not say Postal Plaza.
Yeah.
But you know that 1.7, 1.8 billion, and then if you took the payout,
Yeah.
and then after taxes,
Right?
you'd probably end up with about 450 million.
No, more than that.
Is it?
It'd be more than that.
Okay. Well, check with your wife. Check with Laura. I didn't get a ticket.
The 450 million would probably get you by too. Probably be all right.
Yeah,
But it's more than that. But.
That'd be take care of it. Yeah,
So I didn't win?
What's that?
I didn't win?
You did not win. I'm sorry. We didn't buy a ticket, did you?
I did. That's what I just said.
Oh, you did?
Jeremy sold it to me at Postal Plaza.
No, you didn't win.
Stunner.
Try again this week.
So, busy week coming up. As we said, we start Thursday night at Buffalo Wild Wings at the Suncrest Town Center. We'll be we'll be there from 6 until 8. Just fun, frivolity. Got a big deal going there. We'll have a lot of fun. Might have a special guest. Might have a
Efforting.
Here we go.
efforting on a special guest with a contest.
Yeah.
Really?
A couple of contests will be fun. And then
and a big get right week coming. Turn around, you beat Pitt, and
everything's fine.
we forget this experience.
You do have that. It does, Brad, the way this everybody was thinking, could you start 3-0? Now you're behind the 8 ball, but you do have a get right game, a rivalry game. So this is probably the team you want to be playing right now, right? To try to get right, get fans back into it.
If you win this, you're
right back.
That's a big one.
Okay,
that's a big one. Got to get a lot better. I realize.
You'd rather be playing Robert Morris.
Yeah, I think I'd rather fix some things first.
3 guys before the game brought to us by Go-Mart. Get your Go-Mart rewards card. Go to gomart.com for details. and have a big time. By Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's Biscuit. Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. By Jan Dills, attorneys at law, they won't take no for an answer. And by Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond numbers. Conley CPA. All right, we're back on Thursday with our preview of West Virginia Pitt. Again, we're at Buffalo Wild Wings on Thursday, food court Friday and Saturday, presented by Clear Mountain Bank. Thanks very much for being with us. Thanks to our producer, Jaden. Stay well. We will see ya.